Hello, happy stampers, and welcome not to my happy stamping studio today. We're actually up north in the UP enjoying some time away with each other and doing a lot of work around here, getting ready for the winter and stuff. So I am doing my live from up north, and wasn't planning on staying this long. But I did bring my Halloween Memories scrapbooking kit with me. And hang on just a second. I forgot to grab my adhesives. So we are creating with the Halloween Memories scrapbooking kit today. And I am just grabbing my adhesives here. So I was going to do a little bit of work with this while we were up here. And so that's what I have. So we are going to be creating one of the layouts, and actually the first layout here. And what I really like about these Halloween Memories, they call them workshop kits, but they're scrapbooking kits. And the reason why they call them workshop kits is you get to do 3 two-page layouts and have tons of extras. Last week, I had my scrapbooking event using this kit, actually, and I had bought 2 kits because I wanted one for my granddaughter and one for my grandson. And so what I love about this is you get the pictures, and then they tell you what kind of pictures you need, what size pictures for each layout. Now, you can change these up if you want. But I am going to be following this. And the first thing you do is cut all your paper, and they tell you exactly how to cut it and which way your paper needs to lay out for these. And then they get into step by step on how you do these. And they also give you what I find interesting, measurements on how to lay out each one in inches and where they have placed them. But I just look at the pictures and do my layouts how I want to do them, and following their pictures. Now, I want to grab something else here. Whoops. So, oops. I thought I had some wax paper, but I don't. I actually have some freezer paper, which I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this freezer paper. I showed you with our Stampin' Dimensionals how to do this trick, but I don't have any dimensionals with me. So once again, I've already cut my paper, and these are the self-adhering die cuts that I will be using with this layout. So all I've used so far is my paper trimmer and cut the papers to size, and then I grabbed out, they include these little layouts for your pictures, so that you know that when you go to do this, you can use this. Now, I will say that sometimes I will use a larger picture and only mount it so it protrudes above or below the photo mats. I will also do this with the photo mats with my photos if they're different sizes. But to start out with, I recommend that you follow what they have and then alter it to what you want. So we are using both pages that have these spider webs around the edges. Now, I did not bring my Stampin' Right marker, so I will explain where you use that. So this is my 9x9 piece, and they are showing to use this side with the polka dots. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal and adhere this paper down. Now, when I get home, I will be able to add the stitching with my Stampin' Right marker. So I'm going to place this in the center of this, centering it in this outline here. And where you add your stitches is around this. So when I get home, I will add my stitching around the outside here. Okay, so I have that. Pretty simple, right? Then it tells us that we need some paper strips. And I cut these. And now in the instructions, they tell you to use this strip here, the self-adhering die cut. You would remove this and trim it to what they say to trim it to, and I believe it's 3 inches. But I found that I had some extra of one of the pattern papers that had this polka dot, and I liked the pumpkin pie next to it. Hello, everybody. Yes, don't forget to say hello as you come in. So I'm going to add these next. I'm going to trim the bottom with my paper snips. And what they have you do is just make little angles on these. So I'm going to add these angles. Do this the opposite because I did it the opposite on that first one. And then this one goes up this way. Hello. Yes. Now, I want to just mention that when you, if you're a card maker and not a scrapbooker, these are wonderful for, you know what? No, that's cut the same. Let me see. If I flip these two over, it's still the same way. So it doesn't matter. So I'm going to flip these over. Confusing you? Sorry. Yes, hello to my YouTube watchers also. Welcome those of you watching live on YouTube. Say hello to everybody as you come in. Let us know where you're coming from. I talked about at the top of as I came in that we are up north at our place up north. Kind of came up here for my birthday. Dave says, well, what do you want to do? And I says, oh, I kind of like to go up north. And he says, okay, we'll go up north. So just putting these on, overlapping these. Oh, I put that one on the wrong side. So I will use my thumb to get this adhesive off. Normally I have my rubber adhesive remover, eraser, but I'm going to use my finger. Works pretty good too. Okay, a little bit more off. Let's get that adhered on here. Oh, I got some. Don't work on your paper, you guys. I'm working on my paper because I have less room here. Okay, we're just going to put this right here like that. So we've got those 3 banners, and on the picture it shows it right up here. Next, I'm going to add my photo mats and cut 2 from the double-sided basic black. So you can choose if you want the grayer mat or the black mat. That's what I like about these. I am going to choose the black. Put this on, and you're going to notice that I don't necessarily put a lot of adhesive on here. And this one shows it's right up here, like this. Oops, make sure I get it on straight. Don't follow the dots, you guys, because the polka dots are not straight. And this one comes off and down here a little bit. So we're just going to move that right there. Okay, and then if you wanted, you could temporarily put these on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive. And these are going to stick on because I'll put them inside my page protectors. So that's just going to stick on there to remind me that these are 4x4 pictures on this particular one. Okay, next it's time for our self-adhering die cuts. So it's showing that we need this strip here. And a little trick, you guys, don't throw this remnant away because you can cut these off and use these pieces too. So this one is 4 inches. And get this on straight. I'm going to put the 4 1/4 inches. We're going to line it up, just overlapping, just a tidbit. Well, no, I'm not going to overlap it. On my last one, I did overlap it. But this one, I'm not going to. Okay, then I can just take my paper snips and snip that off. Just like that. And like I said, you can use these for your card making also. Years ago, when I had first started with Stampin' Up, we had some scrapbooking kits similar to this. And I know all you guys have missed it. Now this one, I'm going to angle this one. And I'm going to go a little bit beyond my mat there. Okay, now I have this piece left over. I'm going to be able to use it again. So I'm just going to put it right back on here. And if you don't like the way these lay out, you can always take them off and redo it. So now on this one, they have this one right here that says Halloween Fun. Now you can choose to line it up here or overlap it. I'm actually going to overlap it. And I wanted it to go beyond here just a little bit. And then they have this little banner right here going off here. Now this is where I'm going to use a piece of my freezer wrap. And I'm just going to tear off a piece and I'm going to put it on the bottom here because I don't want that part to stick because it's going to overlap your photo. And so I don't want that necessarily to stick right now to my photo mat. So I'm just going to stick that right there and straighten it out a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to go over to the other side. And they're showing that we use this die cut here. Once again, this overlaps with your photo. So I'm just going to take a piece of freezer wrap. You can take wax paper, and you want the waxy side up if you are using freezer wrap. And I'm going to put this on the top part because that's going to go up over our photo. And this is going to go right over here. So I do need to put my freezer wrap down just a little bit more. So I'm going to put it up just a little bit. There we go. And let's stick that down. And I'm looking at the edges of my paper to see if they're straight. And I don't want to go over my photo too much, but we do want to overlap the photo. So next we are going to take the words "so spooky." You're going to find that your pages go together so quickly with this. And once again, this goes over our picture a little bit. So ripping off another piece and putting that here. And we are going to just put this right up here. And I'm going to cut it just a little bit or rip it to go around there. So we have been cutting and splitting wood while we were up here. I'll put this one right here. Okay, and we have a couple more to do. So You Cast a Spell on Me is also on here. And once again, it goes over our photo just a little bit. So I'm just ripping off a part of that. So the reason why I do this is I do a method of scrapbooking that I finish my pages before I have my pictures. I stick this one right down here and kind of go between the two photos just a little bit. And then we have these wonderful potions here, and those will go down towards the corner of this one. And just put these right down like that. Our first page is done. Look how quickly that went together. Look how cute it is, minus my freezer paper. So that's our first one. Now our second page, once again, I've cut everything out already. So we're going to take all these pieces. And when you cut these, what I like about the instructions is you do not have much in scraps left over, but with the scraps that I have, I can either make some more scrapbook pages, and everybody that attended my event, we made an extra layout using our supplies from this leftovers, and I showed them some cards that they could create. And I don't have those with me, so I can't share those with you. That's actually one of the perks of coming to my in-person classes. If you are an online person and you want me to start bringing those layouts to you, let me know, because I am doing my online classes and I can always add that to my online class listings and offerings. So this one shows this up here in this corner. And then this one comes down to about here and it overlaps a little bit on the outside. Let's get that one on straight. Okay, so now once again, we need to grab this piece right here. And this is the gorgeous grape, double-sided. And because we can journal on this, I'm going to use the light side. And they have it on the inside. I am following the instructions, the layouts for the instructions for this. Okay, and once again, we have a 4x6 photo. It goes there, or 4x4, I'm sorry. But this is where I say you could add down to the bottom, and you'd want to add down to the bottom or up to the top. If you have a 4x5 photo or 4x6 photo, I would go up with it because we're going to decorate down here. Okay, so this mat goes right here. So you have a lot of flexibility with these. So next, we've got these pieces yet that we need to use in a second. So next we have this purple self-adhering die cut going down below here. Right like that. And just taking your paper snips and snipping that off. How many of you, tell me, are all caught up with your scrapbooking? Because I hear people all the time tell me, oh, I don't, my kids don't go out for trick-or-treating anymore. They're older, or my grandkids are older. But if you're like me, you need to catch up on your scrapbooking. So I'm going to use some of these layouts for my own kids' scrapbook pages also. Okay, so we have that on there so far. And then they have this little spookiest little monster one right here. And this one does protrude above onto our photo. So once again, just going to grab a strip of my freezer paper. How many of you have heard to do this with your self-adhering die cut? Now, the stripes go onto the photo. So I'm just going to put that right there. I'm going to trim it off because I'm going to be able to take that off later. And we're going to add that right up here, centering it on that journaling block. And it'll go up into that picture a little bit. Okay, so we have some more to add here. We have this piece, and you can make this piece as thick as you want. I'm actually going to lift up that die cut a little bit. And I'm just going to lift it up. Actually, I'm going to lift it up all the way because I don't want this stripe to be as thick as it is. I'm going to pull that up. And I'm going to put this on. I know it's going to be partially covered up, and that's what I want. So I'm just going to make sure that my gap here is even. And then I can put this right over the top of both those pieces. And there we go. Lining it up to the edge of my photo mat. Okay, and that's made that a little bit thinner. Okay, we have a couple more pieces to add here, and that is these two pieces here. And don't forget, I said that I ended up cutting this from the designer series paper instead of the self-adhering die cuts. And in our instructions, they did not angle the ends of these, but I want to angle the ends of these so that they are like the other side. Just mirroring that other side a little bit. So I'm going to put this one up here like this. they have them straight. I'm angling them, and that's where, and this one's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to angle this one this way. This is where your creativity comes in and your imagination. And this one's a little bit straighter like that. Okay, they do have an embellishment here, which I did not bring. And then they also put up here, I'm going to show you here, they put some words up here. I am not going to put those in until I get my pictures on, because I'm not too sure which grandchild is going to have their pictures on the layouts. Now, when I first saw these, I thought, oh, what do I want flowers for on a Halloween page? These are actually stars. And we get to put some stars on each side. And this one goes up here. Then we have another one right here on the corner. And then on our first page, we are going to put 2 stars. We have this one here. Let's put that one down here. And another one towards the top. Now, it's been a very little bit of time, and look, I've got my page done already. I'm going to put this one down a little bit lower. There we go. And you can put your stars upside down or right side up. Now, even though it says you have room for two photos, you could add a photo up here or add 2 smaller photos up here. And you can add a photo down here. There's enough of the black double-sided paper to do that, or you could take your black cardstock. You could add a long strip of a photo to up here, maybe pictures of some of the candy. But this is how quick that layout goes. So I know some of you have said you don't scrapbook. You know what, you guys? Grab these for card ideas also. They're so quick and handy that you could just do a bunch of Halloween spooky cards to send out. You can make treat containers out of these, but I really love them. So this is a short one today. I'm going to remove you off of here. And I'm going to share with you some of our fall colors out here. So let me move. And I have enjoyed watching the leaves turn color since we've been up here. So I'm going to flip this around and, whoops, just show you guys. Look at those fall colors. Now, when we got here, these leaves were almost all green. And look at this. This is my view as I'm working up here. These beautiful fall colors have been appearing. So until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.